Hello everyone, Josh MC2000 here, and today we've got a video for you all on Harleen. Yeah, God, I know. It's been a long time since I've covered some comics on this channel, and I've got some good news. On the 22nd, my local comic book shop is opening up again, so that means I'll be able to get back at it with some comics. I've ordered a rook of comics that I haven't had during lockdown. So I should all be caught up. What I'll have to do is I'll have to make a note of the ones I've already got and kind of trim down my pull list when I get there. But anyway, today it's a long past time we talked about Harleen, which is one of the Black Label comics I've actually really enjoyed, but I've just never had the chance to talk about it on a video, and I've tried several times today. And it's not come out particularly well, to be honest. Some of the previous audio recordings of this were a bit messy, but we'll see how this goes. Harleen, like other Black Label books, is the long, no ads, like proper paperback cover kind of comics. Very, very high quality finish and production that DC has given to them, and well, it's pretty good. I'm not knocking it. It's very, very nice having such a nice high quality piece of comic, and the story in it as well is pretty good as well. If I had to nail down the story in a simple descriptor, I'd say the Mad Love episode of the animated series, but done for adults, like done for an older audience. Which, you know, for those of you that don't know, Mad Love is the episode that was originally Harley Quinn's origin story from the animated series. That is where she debuted, and then she was brought over to the comics. And you know something? I've personally been getting quite sick of Harley, because up until Punchline got introduced, it seemed like Harley was everywhere. And you know what? Despite that, I actually still really enjoyed this comic. It felt like a mature retelling of Mad Love, and it was already a pretty good foundation to build off of, and it doesn't just rehash that story as well, it does add its own things. It has its own stab at doing the origin story of Two-Face, which was pretty interesting. I did quite enjoy what they did with Harvey Dent, and some of the things they did with Harleen's backstory, like, you know, the idea that she's not just working at Arkham Asylum, she's not just one of the doctors, she's there for a purpose, but she's working on a research project. And that kind of ties into how Joker manipulates her, because he essentially kind of crafts this yarn, this story that fits perfectly for what she's trying to prove. And it really does kind of show the Joker in this really meticulous, calculated light, and it's damn good. And speaking of damn good, let's talk about the art. Honestly, I think the cover art for issue 1 is genuinely some of the best comic book art I've ever seen, and also the art translates across beautifully on the inside as well. Like, for the most part, the internals of this comic are just as good as the external covers, and it makes a very nice change, and it gives it that Black Label high quality feel. Like, the only art in comics that I can think of that's better than this that I've read is probably Batman Damned, and again, that's another Black Label book. There was that incident with Batman Damned, but you know, moving on. It's an adult imprint, really. What do you guys expect? For those of you that don't know, go and check out my Batman Damned video. I did it a long time ago, but the point still stands. And honestly, just Harleen, guys, if you can get your hands on Harleen, because it's been in trade paper for quite a while now, like the actual proper hardcover. It's been available for quite a while now, because, God, it came out probably like mid last year. I've been neglecting to talk about this for way too long, and They also have some. I was saying they took a stab at doing the origin story of Harvey Dent. There's another thing they have in here called the Executioners, and what they are is they're a group of rogue GCPD officers that are going around and acting as vigilantes, using some of the equipment they've got access to at the GCPD. So, like, you know, they've got like full body armor, riot shields, assault rifles, and it's pretty, you know, it's interesting, you know, and it's a good element that comes into play, and all of this kind of melds together to tell this really interesting story about how Harleen turned into Harley Quinn, you know, like how this doctor that started out with nothing but good intentions ended up with nightmares and a drink problem and problems sleeping, and then eventually ended up losing it. And it honestly, I really do like stories like this. I mean, the film Joker, again, was kind of similar. I need to do a review of that film. Good film. And you know what? If you like that film, it's okay to like that film. Don't let anybody tell you different. You're entitled to have your own opinion. And also, Red Hood Lost Days. Yeah, I know, I should start a swear jar for every single time I mention Red Hood in a non-Red Hood related video. Yeah, I've considered it. I'd probably be broke within a month.